How's it going, guys? Brian Cusco here at Triple B, and today we're interviewing Collette Sutherland from TSK, also known as the Snake Keeper. And the first time I met Collette was actually my first time going to the Pomona Reptile Super Show. I had arranged with her beforehand to pick up this beautiful clown piebald female right here. You guys know as the queen. The rest is basically history, but yeah, I met Collette at the show there, got this snake, and since then she's produced a beautiful clutch for me and probably gonna produce another one this coming season. Couldn't be happier with this snake, man, but Collette is somebody I've wanted to interview for a long time. Her and her husband Dan have been breeding ball pythons since, well, I'll let her tell you how long it's been, but TSK is basically a household name in the ball python keeping community. They do keep other snakes as well, and they do all kinds of shipping stuff, but TSK line Xanthic is something that I think is basically a household name at this point. So I was really excited to do this interview because I've been looking up to them for a long time, and it was really cool to actually get her to sit down with me on camera, because, yeah, cool. I'm gonna stop blabbing and we'll let Collette do the talking. You're watching Triple B TV. So when did you get into keeping snakes?
Oh gosh, I got my first snake when I was in elementary school. I don't remember how old I was, but it was a ribbon snake.
A ribbon snake?
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
That's what they sold in the pet shops, and I took it out for a walk and I promptly lost it. No, I'm allergic to mammals, so I've always had snakes and lizards.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, being allergic to mammals and wanting to have some pets, that'd be tough.
Yeah, it was.
TSK has been around for quite some time. You say TSK Xanthic, everybody knows what you're talking about.
Right. When we first started, gosh, how long? Well, our domain's ballpython.com, so
right,
that's...
So I'm sure there's a lot of people that wish they could have gotten ballpython.com.
Right, so it's been a long time. It has. We've been breeding snakes like since we've been married, and that's been probably, it's almost 30 years.
So you got some experience. So you're like the genetic wizard of the duo, pretty much, right? I mean,
well, of the duo, yes.
Yes.
Of the world, no, but of the duo, yes.
It was at this show.
Right.
Was actually the first time I had been to the Pomona show. Was the first time I ever went to a reptile show at all.
Right.
I didn't even know these things existed. You know, the whole life I had keeping snakes. I was like somehow didn't know about this whole world, but. I found your snake online, and
right.
Then we arranged for me to come meet you here at this show and get that clown-pied female, who's doing really well,
good.
By the way. She's
good.
And that snake, she means a lot to me, and that's why I've always wanted to talk to you and do an interview with you, is because it's just something that's, I don't know, it was like my big inundation back into the hobby after having been gone, you know, living on islands for a decade. And you've just always been somebody to me that I kind of look up and hold in really high regard because of like just how long you've been doing it and how long you dedicated your life to it. And you're so like even keeled, like. And maybe that's the vibe I get. You seem like a well-balanced person.
I try. When we first came in, we were taught by like Lloyd Lemke and Bob Applegate, and they always treated us fairly. They never spoke down to us, and they always tried to help and talk to us nicely. And so we've always tried to do that and just be that way. We try not to get all, well, excuse me, you're not good enough to talk to me. We don't, I don't like that, and I don't want to be that way.
That's good. I think that's something to aspire to for anybody. It's just nice to have people like yourself to look up to in the world of keeping, in the world of ball python breeding.
Well, thank you.
It is. So you guys have been going strong for a long time. What do you see as the future? Just kind of keeping on with?
For me, the older I've gotten, it just sounds lame. I have arthritis in my hands, which is making it harder and harder to move the animals and work with them. And so I've had to cut back a lot just because physically I have to do less. And so, but the future, I mean, there's so many cool things that you can produce. There's no limit.
True.
It just keeps going each year, you know, bigger, better, badder, more combinations. There's just, you can't get them all. There's so many. It's really cool.
So this is a super pastel spot nose.
Fire yellow belly.
Nice. It's a beautiful snake.
So yeah, we hatched this just a couple of weeks ago. It's one of our first hatchlings out this year because we're late this year.
It seems like everybody's kind of late this year.
Each year's different. Every year is different. I've yet to see 2 years go the same way.
Beautiful snake.
Thank
It's
you.
Gorgeous. I love what Spot Nose does a lot of good things in combos from what I've seen. Is amazing. Like to bring back some contrast that would have been otherwise missing in a snake like this, right?
Yes, it makes the pattern a lot busier. And then, of course, naturally, the fire lightens it, and then the yellow belly just helps bring out some of the color in it. These are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They're something we've been working with for a few years now. And every so often, we get some that are just, they're not as straightforward as the ball pythons are.
Check out this traveling cage, guys. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
this actually is so removable. So when we drive, we don't leave it in, but when we get to the show, we actually put the water in. Yeah, so we have these guys and we're working with them, and they're all more of a selectively bred trait. There's the only simple recessive that I'm aware of is the albino green tree. And so it's a lot more patience. They don't finish changing their colors till they're 3 to 4 years old.
This one looks like it's going to be incredible as it ages.
I hope so. We're hoping that it'll retain some of the blue that's on its face and some of the blue that's coming in on the back and on the sides as it continues to age.
Yeah, I've never seen one that quite looks like that.
They're all so variable. This is one of the darker ones out of the clutch. Some of its other siblings are a lot lighter, but all of them were red in the clutch. And they either hatch out red or yellow.
Really appreciate you coming in and talking with me today. Because for some reason, I was super nervous about it.
No, don't worry.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. Collette, thank you again very much for doing the interview with me. I really appreciate it. Next week, we're going to be talking with my buddy Mike Porter over at Porter's Pythons. And until then, you've been watching Triple B TV. Y'all take care. And yeah, guys, Chawala.
This is a super pastel fire spot
I'm gonna
nose.
get the hair just
My
on
hair's
you.
in the way.
Just a little bit. I just don't want you to be on camera with the hair in your face. Come here, snake. I'm gonna move your hair off the microphone just a little bit.
All right,
so we can connect.
that's fine.
I've wanted to interview you for a while because let me make sure this is all